Now here's another thing. The passwords are stored in a file called shadow. Yes, it is secure. Won't really see it in this particular instance if I do etc h. So there are lots of files here, as you can see in the etc directory. Right? Lots of files here in the etc directory. etc directory is a very important directory inside of the Linux structure. It contains many of the files that are needed to process and manipulate the Linux environment. Here are some things that are known as links. This L right here in the first character is a link, which means that it is pointing to some other location. There is an alias. For example, there's an alias called rc, and it's pointing to a directory called rc.d and then rc. Here's rc0.d, which is really pointing at the rc.d, followed by rc.0d directory. Links are created to make it easier for you to move around the Linux environment so that you can refer to the alias and not the underlying directory structure or file name structure, which may be really, really long. So in our notepad, you will see here L for link. Right? So let me clear out of this. Now let me go back to the scripts directory. Oops. Now I did not specify the H, you notice? And look at what it says. It says 122. That means that this file 1.txt is 122 bytes. And this is 4096 bytes, and this is 4096 bytes. If I don't specify the A, notice it does not list these two directories right here because they are hidden. The dot and the dot, because the directory names start with a dot, really means that they are hidden. And if I don't specify the L, it just lists me the name of the file. It doesn't give me the permissions, as you can see. Right? So that's how that's broken out. So if I do LSLAH, I see the listing in K where possible, and this is really not even 1K, so that's why it's listing the file name in bytes to me. Right? Now let me tell you and show you something else. I'm going to do something very, very simple. I'm going to create my first script. I'm going to call this script 01, and I'm just going to type in pwd, and I'm going to press enter. And I'm going to save this. And so this script really, I just wanted to list me the present working directory. If I list this file, I'm just going to say cat. And cat in the Linux world is the same thing as the type command in Windows. Here it's just pwd. If I try to run this file, if I do script 01, it gives me an error and it says permission denied. This // means that I want to run this program from the current directory. And it says permission denied. The reason for that is because script 01 does not have the execute permission. You notice that? It's just read, write, and read. Yet I don't have execute permission. So what I can do for that is this. I can do change mod plus X script 01. I added the execute permissions to the script 01 file. Notice the color changed in PuTTY because it recognizes this as a script. I've got X permissions here listed now. And if I run this now, it types in scripts because it's running that pwd command. It ran pwd, which displayed me scripts. All right? So that is how you change permissions. And if I do chmod minus X script 01, it will change the permissions again, and it will remove the X permission. And if I try to run this, you'll see it says, in this case, no such file or directory, / script 01, it gives me permission denied. The reason it was giving me no such file or directory is because I was trying to point to a directory which didn't exist. But by doing a / followed by the name, it tries to run this file which doesn't have X permissions, and it says permission denied. So, and I'm going to be introducing a lot more of this to you as time progresses. For now, let me minimize it and go over to Zen Center.